Hey, Aleph Dalet. Mutter levashel hadogen or hakemach b'mei Peirush. The Rambam says you can cook the grain or the flour in mei Peirush, which is when you learn that any liquid that is not water, it comes from a plant. Or let's see. In the Peirush it says even though you can't cook them in water, as we in Halacha Gimel according to the Rambam, you can do it in mei Peirush. As well as a dough that has been kneaded with the liquid that came out of oil or from olives or wine or even apple juice. Either if they cook them in water that came out of fruit or from a frying pan, it is, and it was mixed with mei Peirush to begin with. It's permitted. Mei Peirush ain't machmitzim, because we learned it earlier. Mei Peirush do not cause flour to become chometz. The Magen Mishnah cites again Psochim 39b. Amid Rab Shila, Vatiko is the name of a machol. It's a type of food. It's mutter, and we learned Vatika is also. The answer is whether they did it in water with salt or with oil and salt. The Rif explains Mishlam Milcha. Since oil doesn't have any water, it's considered mei Peirush, and it doesn't cause chimutz. Fatiko is a type of food made from flour, which is cooked in water, or mei Peirush. So it depends. If it's in water, it's awesome. If it's cooked in mei Peirush, like we're learning now, it's mutter. Rabbeinu Manoach says that Divrei HaGemorim only is a source to the Rambam, but because of them he wrote it, meaning because he wrote Halacha Beis Mei Peirush Himach Mitzvah. And if we know that already, why is he teaching us here? That he wrote it again here to tell us that we find in the Gemara Vatika is Shori. Halacha L'Maisa, the Shulchan Aruch Paskins, Vatika is a tafshil which is made from shemen u'melach with kemach. It's mutter, and it shouldn't, as long as it doesn't have water, as is explained in the Mishnah Berurah, because oil is mei Peirush that do not cause chimutz. And he adds, if it has water, even a little bit, then it's mei Peirush that's mixed with water and it's machametz. And if there was no oil at all, only water and salt, it's definitely becomes chometz. But the Ramah writes, we're noyig to hachme mei Peirush. This too is forbidden. And the Mishnah Berurah adds, for a sick person and zokin, you can rely on this if there's no other food available. Berg, hey, we're learning halacha hey in Hilchos Chametz. Caramel, shemahavim oisei be'oil. Caramel, which is wheat that has been roasted, and the terchen oisei, and then you made it into flour. Now let's see what the Peirush says. That first of all, you roast the outside with fire, either barley or wheat. The terchen oisei, and then you make flour out of it. You should not cook the flour in water. Maybe it wasn't fully roasted, and it will become chometz when you'll cook it. Magen Mishnah cites the Gemara Psochim 39b. A person shouldn't make a dish out of flour that was from roasted. Maybe it wasn't roasted well. And it'll come to chimutz. And Rashi explains, when you want that something should be tasty, you put in it or attach it, hold together, you add flour. And even flour that has been dried in a tanur, which is called caramel. In other words, you took fresh wheat which isn't dry yet and you roasted it, You can't do it on Pesach because maybe it won't have been roasted enough, and when you put it together with the item to be cooked, it'll become chometz. And he adds further that that's where the Rambam learned that you do not cook it in water itself. If you can't use it in a mixture, certainly you can't use it in water. If he cooked up kemach in water, flour and water, in a new pot, also when they do it, you only, when you finish off the new pots, you do not cook in them only matzah, which is cooked, that was ground up, and avol kemach kal also. But you can't use flour, shemali kolchu, even though it was roasted flour, maybe it wasn't roasted enough, and the other day chimutz. It'll come to chimutz. The Maggid Mishnah cites the Gemara in Mem B, 40b, Rava mochi le bechasisi. Rif explains that in matzah, which was baked, that he crushed it and he made from it water, that's moilim sakteris. And since the matzah is afuya, it won't come to chometz. Noach explains that that in the new pots they used to cook up the flour and water so that it will be I guess it was an earthenware pot that would be strengthened and won't break. So you shouldn't do it with even a food item that has flour and water on it, in order only to strengthen it, because only with it was from flour and from matzah that was already baked. You don't have to worry about chometz. Shulchan Aruch paskins that these grains that were roasted, ground, you're not mevashel the kemach. Maybe it wasn't taken in well, and therefore it's machmetz. And also, when you mix it, you're not mevashel only matzah afuya. And in Tosis, Ligirian Be'agorli adds, since it's forbidden to be mishtamish on Pesach with vessels that are old, meaning that had chometz in it, therefore you use new ones. And if you're going to use this mix to do it, right, then you're causing it to become chometzdik. Only if you use matzah afuya with water, then you could do it to strengthen the pot, and you wouldn't have a problem.